Hey guys, so today we're here to talk about the Beserker class and why you should play it. Because, Mage is overrated and Berserk is kind of the new fresh thing with new items, so of course it's gonna be fun to play. But beyond that, you guys have been awesome to support lately. You guys love the new editing style. I've definitely let the editor know. And if you guys want to keep seeing these videos coming out, maybe, like the video, comment, subscribe. Let's go for like 700 likes. I think that'd be awesome. But anyway, so why should you play Berserker? Well, it is fun, I guess you could say. I started playing the class, not too long ago, like less than a week ago, right before F6 came out. I tried it like once or twice. I was like, this is cool. And it provides a lot of interesting abilities. Now, I've definitely went over the classes before, but, a quick little talk about it, the skills. The passive, it heals you, get a lot of healing. And this works really well. If you guys have not seen my video yesterday or the other day, the Flower of Truth, it works really well with this. As the Flower of Truth, multi-hits and passive, you're gonna be getting a lot of healing, and because it counts as your melee hit, this is just really good with that, especially if your mobs starting to heal down. Unfortunately, if there's no mobs. Also, it also lowers the skill, which I don't even use the skill, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, that's how it works at the end of the day. And there's also the ultimate skill and the normal skills, the throwing axe, which I don't know how much this does. I don't carry the orb on me, but I mean, if you need a little extra bit of DPS, you probably want to, use it, unlike me. And there's also the ultimate, which is a pretty sick ultimate. You get little goons coming out, running around. I mean, you probably see it sometimes in the gameplay, but it's just pretty cool. I like that. Like, I really like minion style gameplays, so it's definitely really cool. So beyond that, there's not ghost abilities, who cares about that? And when you level up, it boosts a lot of your damage stats, as you can see. Increase your melee damage, increase your healing damage from your bloodlust, which is your passive, increase throwing damage, ghost damage, and then you get more summon health. Unfortunately, you don't get more summon time, which is kind of lame. But as you can see, with every level, you get more and more and more melee damage. So the last two floors have offered a bunch of new weapons, right? They've offered the new Livid Dagger, they've offered the Shadow Fury, and now they've offered the Flower of Truth. And what one should you go? Well, they are all really good options, and it's really up to you what you want to go for at the end of the day, right? Like, Livid Dagger is great, especially for this fight, because if you have a tank, they will, aggro the mobs facing away from you, and you get all that sweet bonus damage. So it is a very good option. But if you wanted some fun, try a new playstyle, definitely go with the Flower of Truth. Again, I got a video on that if you guys can go, take a look. This is definitely a really cool item, and I think it might be worth your coins. Beyond that, there's also the Shadow Fury. People say it's really good, but I don't know, it just seems like a little overset. It's very expensive as well. In comparison to the, Flower of Truth and the Livid Dagger, it's about 3 times the price, so I wouldn't even bother with that, especially if you're trying to go like for a budget build. So like, that's what I try to do. I have a lot of people give me flack that I just sit there and adapt it most of the time. But I'm trying to do it with like, minimum gear. I always say minimum gear and I use like E-Drag Pet. But I try to use like minimum armor and stuff to show like, hey, anyone can do this stuff, Like, you guys got this. So beyond that, the swords, I would probably go with the Flower of Truth or Livid Dagger. Maybe get both, because they definitely are strong in their own situations. Because, one does way more damage when you backstab, and one is ranged. So like, they definitely both have their place for you to use in your Berserker kit. Now, if there's like any other weapon you guys can think of, maybe like comment below, and if people are interested, they'll probably, look down there and see what people say. Because there's also the items that are gated behind the Catacombs level, like the AOTD Midas that you already have. But, you can't use those for a very long time, so I wouldn't really bother thinking about that right now. So armor-wise, there is not too many options you can do as Berserker. There's pretty much the Shadow Assassin armor, which is a very good set, mind you, but it's very expensive. Now, you can cheese, I guess you could call it, and get yourself 3 pieces of Shadow Assassin, which, it's a good set. I think it's worth using, especially in dungeons, because it gives you a lot of strength, a lot of crit damage, and that's without Reforge, and it gives you pretty good health defense, and some speed as well, so those are very nice stats for a Berserker. Unfortunately, the full set piece, the chestplate, is very expensive, costing literally 40 mil coins. So I wouldn't exactly, go out of my way to buy it. It's not really worth but you could probably get away with just replacing it with like an adaptive chestplate or something a lot cheaper in the meantime if you're just trying to get some raw stats. Since the set bonus is nice, is very nice on like both of them, but I mean you're gonna be running yourself through a lot more coins going like trying to max sets. It's definitely usable with just like a mixed set, because 25 strength, 100 damage, as I said, is very good. That's with a reforge. Now it does have a really good set ability, so again, it's a big shame to miss out on that. There's also the whole whenever you teleport, you get a buff, so you are missing out on that. But I think it would be, you know, nice to, or smart of you to pick up at least everything but the chestplate, because they're all very cheap, and just get kind of like your strongest chestplate you can use as like, you know, as the last resort. It just makes it a little bit stronger, and so you don't have to rely on the full set bonus. I think finally is pet. So pet is, there's not too many pet options. Like anything that really buffs your melee is good. Like E-Drag is good. Like Yeti is very, very good. Like this thing is insane. Just so you use the Flower of Truth, you get so much defense. It's not even funny. But definitely have like a showcase on this, because this is great. Like this is just insane how good of a combo these two items are. Beyond that, pretty much you just want to run your best pet and you get armor like that. Talismans, well, I just kind of have my talisman set to like a shaded epic and below and strong above that, and that's kind of like what I got. I think it's a pretty good setup if you ask me. So beyond the guide, I feel like I haven't really covered why you should play Beserker, but it's fun. Like I had a lot of fun playing it, especially now with the new playstyle. It definitely makes the class a lot more enjoyable, I guess you could say. Like it was, my biggest issue with it was not ranged. It had no ranged potential, but now with the Flower of Truth, you can do that. So it's pretty much a jack of all trades. You heal a lot, you do a lot of left click damage, and it's the closest to traditional Skyblock gameplay you can get, which I think is the most important thing, which is something I want to kind of focus on, because once we're all done with dungeons, all this other stuff, right? Or until like they stop doing it for a while, magic damage, all this other weird funky stuff, like maybe even the necromancer stuff, won't matter anymore, because there will be, you know, no new updates for it in a while, and they'll just be focusing on the main game. So all the stuff we've worked on in dungeons for mage and stuff will become worthless. But if we just kind of focused on a Beserker build, you know, cheap Beserker build, or just kind of like making stuff like your left click as strong as you can, then like that will take you further into the long run than it will, you know, wasting all your money on the mage items, you know, mage reforges, mage this, mage that, mage this, mage that, and it's just like, then you'll literally be wasting coins on items that won't last you for a long time, since you'll be like, oh well, I guess they added like a new sword out of the dungeons, guess I just wasted all my coins, or something like that. But that's more like a wait and see. It's just, in the current meta of Skyblock right now, healing is key, and Beserker does that very well, especially in the dungeon. So you'll have a very easy time on F6 as Beserker, as long as you have decent gear, you know, maybe like adaptive or like using the Shadow Assassin set, as I mentioned. But yeah, so hopefully I didn't keep you guys too long. If you guys enjoyed, you know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. But I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!